What's going on, guys? This is Miasin and welcome to OCG Metagame Breakdown number 4. And also, I think you already noticed, but this is like the third time in the past 2 weeks where I'm changing backgrounds. And it's not because I'm moving, it's because I'm touring Europe, and now I'm in France, so every single time there was another background, I changed countries. So the last one was Germany, and the one before was Switzerland. Right now, I'm in Paris for the next 2 days, so yeah, if I have any French viewers, then, let's chill or something. But yeah, so I'm going to be covering the OCG report, breakdown, that of course Akira made, absolutely insane, and this one is really important because it's featuring Age of Overlord, and I honestly want to consider it one of the best sets that we've gotten in the past couple of years. This one's really insane because we have a lot of really insane staples, like the new Zeus-ish monster and the new Link 2 monster that you can also summon with Masquerena to be like a double interruption. It's a ridiculously unfair card. But before we get into this video, make sure you like and subscribe. You already know the drill, and now let's get right into it. Alright, so 18 top performing decks from 23 tournaments that were held in Japan, China. Supposed to be mainland China, but whatever. Taiwan during whatever, 5 days or something. And yeah, the tournaments that were not including Age of Overlord are not included in this report. But anyways, so yeah, the new cards, Brionac, as well as every single new card from Age of Overlord. The #1 best deck at the current moment is Rescue Ace, because Rescue Ace, it's not that it got direct new support from Age of Overlord, but rather that the new Diabell Star and Snake Eye engine is really good in Rescue Ace, because one of the spell cards for Snake Eye or Diabell Star or whatever, they're kind of connected anyways. It allows you to summon a level 1 fire monster from the deck, and Hydrant is a level 1 fire, so it's really insane. And the starter for Diabell Star is pretty much like an engage. You get to search a monster and pretty much draw a card. If you can put back one of your banished or in your grave Diabell Star or Tainted Treasure spells or trap cards into your deck. So it's really insane. Anyways, Purely is the second best deck, of course. The rank 2 monster, E Purely Noir, is ridiculously unfair. Also allows you to play around Joe like it was nothing. Tier Laments is also really good. I'm going to be covering this in this video. But yeah, Ishizu tier, Adventure Ishizu Kishtira tier, Adventure Sinful Spoils in Ishizu tier. So the Sinful Spoils archetype was the one that I was talking about. Diabell Star and Snake Eye. The name just keeps changing, though. It was Tainted Treasure before, and now it's Sinful Spoils. Danger Ishizu tier, Ishizu Kishtira tier. And this is where, it becomes really interesting. Horus! I knew it was going to be good in a mill deck. It was just a matter of time. I made that prediction, and, it's paying off because I want to say these cards are just going to keep getting better and better over time. But yeah, really good engine as well, but at the current moment, we only have 6 cards, so 4 monsters, as well as 1 continuous spell, 1 continuous trap. If we get more ways to get your stuff going, the Horus engine might be in, every single Tier Laments deck, honestly. It's really insane, and also allows you to play through hand traps because you're foolishing your cards, and then you can revive back all of your Horus monsters, maybe make a Galaxy Ice Photon Lord, whatever. Anyways, Labyrinth is also really good. So the #1 build is Unchained Labyrinth, but it's kind of like a trap in a way, because you think that it's playing a lot of Unchained cards, and it's pretty much like Unchained featuring some Labyrinth cards, but no, it's pretty much one monster that gets you the trap, and the trap card, which I think is a double pop or something, so it's kind of irrelevant. Anyways, Branded, of course, this deck will never die as long as Branded Fusion is not banned. Even if it's a 1, it changes nothing. It's a 1 in the OCG, and in the TCG, even without Expulsion, it changes nothing. The deck is still insane. Vanquish Soul, really interesting because the deck got new support, the new fire monster. You can reveal off of Ryzen and then get a search for a Vanquish Soul. But to be you have to reveal 2 fire monsters to get your search for any Vanquish Soul card from your deck to your hand. But the thing about Vanquish Soul is that I think this might be hype, and people are going to drop the deck again, because when it first got released in the OCG, it was doing really well at the very beginning, and then people eventually gave up on the deck because it does have flaws, unfortunately. And again, if you don't see Ryzen, the deck is not really good. Obviously, you have more consistency now. Is it really enough? Who knows? Anyways, Runic, I believe the Fountain is at 1. I could be wrong, but either way, it's a really good deck or really good engine. This is the Runic Stun deck, though. Yeah, imagine getting Cosmic Cyclone on your one and only field spell. I don't know, though. It might be a 2. Anyway, Sky Striker, Supreme King Magician. The new engine is insane. You can actually make the real Zark this time, not negating it with the other Supreme King trap card. And Zark is really nasty. Even if it gets destroyed, it's pretty much kind of like a mistake. Whenever your opponent searches a card from deck to hand, you basically get to destroy it. It's a really insane card. When it's summoned, it's also like a full Regeki or something. You get to destroy every single card your opponent controls. The card is disgusting. And in the Pendulum deck, which of course has Electrum, it's even better. Anyways, Exorcister, Grass Bestial Dragon Link, Mekanko, Rika, Scareclaw Vanadium. Very disappointing because it should be way better, especially with Age of Overlord, because they just got the Trilu Soaked something, whatever, the new level 6 Synchro monster. But at the same time, Manadome is a hardcore combo deck, and that, you know, makes it that they lose really hard to maxi. It's not a mid-range deck whatsoever. Anyways, Trap Brigade, Lyrilusk, Adventure, Planet Patrol, as this, Bestial, okay, yeah, nobody's playing the Red Dragon Archfiend cards, unfortunately. Coldtalker, Mathmech, huge fall from Grace. Mathmech used to be so much better. Nobody cares about the deck anymore. Crystal Beast, yes. Evil Eye, okay. Philanderies, whatever. A lot of spicy decks. Not even gonna bother because they're even longer than my lifespan. Anyways, Hero, Horus Volcanic, Labyrinth Shaptrix, Mathmech Adagnister, Marincess, yes, whatever. Okay, I don't care. Alright, Rescue Ace, alright. Feel like I kind of explained everything, but yeah, basically the Rescue Ace engine kind of acts as additional copies of 1-for-1 while also giving you follow-up, which is really important because the graveyard effect of this card right here, the card before Call by the Grave, is it allows you to search a level 1 fire monster from the deck to the hand and also get back your Diabel Star from your graveyard into the bottom of the deck, so you never run out of gas. You always have a lot of starters as well as a lot of follow-up cards, because this deck, it doesn't really need a lot of cards to play. It only really needs to resolve Emergency, or like, well, I mean, Turbulence rather, and then you kind of just win the game, and it becomes a matter of, well, can you actually do something next turn, or can you just put up like 3 interruptions and that's it? But this deck it's getting better and better. Just before we got the support from Age of Overlord, people were almost playing like a combo version of Rescue Ace, which I didn't really like too much, but at the same time, they do have Auroradon. So with Olion and Jet Synchron, they were actually making negates with Synchro monsters like Herald of Arclight and Warlord Savage Dragon. So it was kind of like an in-between between mid-range and combo, but now it's like straight up just mid-range. So yeah, this deck is very simple, doesn't lose to Max C, obviously, because you're not really special summoning much, doesn't lose to Nibiru for slightly obvious reasons, unless you're going for Proxy F Magician into Muddy Mudragon, and, well, Mudragon of the Swamp, sorry, and then Turbulence, then you just lose to Nibiru big time, but if you're not doing that, you really could not care less. But yeah, the engine is basically 1 Diabel Star as well as 3 original Sinful Spoils, so this card is, like I said, the kind of like engage card, and then the 1-for-1 S card, so you are going to be special summoning a level 1 fire monster from the deck directly with this card, and then you can also search a level 1 fire monster, except during the turn it was sent to the graveyard, something like that. So yeah, it's 1 monster, 3 good spells, and then 1 also good spell. But yeah, I mean, this card gets you to everything, like the 3 of. And then for the other Rescue Ace cards, I don't understand why the OCG plays these cards, like these annoying 1-ofs. I actually think they're garbage. Like, I just do not like them. I mean, the level 7 is not bad, but the level 6, I think Fire Attack or something, absolute piss. Yes, there's the new SP Little Knight. This deck is not playing the new Zeus monster, which is kind of interesting because it's free real estate in this deck, so why not? The side deck, even more hand traps because it's already playing like, what, 3, 6, 8, 9, and some other utility cards, you know, 2 Call by the Grave, a Crossout Designator, yeah, 3 Retaliating Sea. It's really good against Purely and Despia, and these decks are really insane right now because Purely is the 2nd best deck, and Despia is, what, the 5th best deck? So Retaliating Sea is good against 2 of the top tier decks. I really recommend Retaliating Sea moving forward into the next format. And by the way, this applies for the TCG as well, so take notes. But yeah, 2 Nibiru, this card is overall good against pretty much any combo deck, I want to say. The Synchron deck loses a little bit to Nibiru. It really depends. Some hands don't because they go into Baron very early, but some hands they play around Ash, but not Nibiru, because they chain block with Junk Speeder, but that's all they really do. They can't really make a Baron very early. They would need like Rite of Ramesir and like Revolution Synchron. That's the way they can screw you up, but otherwise, it should be relatively fine. Yeah, 2 Ghost Bells and a Veiler, so like what, freaking 8 hand traps, even more hand traps on the side. That's insane. And then Cosmic D-Bear. D-Bear is also a god card. It's insane against the Synchron deck, Purely, Despia, freaking Manadome, everything, you name it. Just, this card's insane against everyone, except Rescue Ace. And like, I don't know. Nobody's playing Kashtira anymore, obviously. Vanquish Soul obviously doesn't lose to D-Bear. Labyrinth doesn't, but Labyrinth does lose to Ghost Bell and Cosmic. So there's that 5 cards already for that deck. And then Purely, the second best deck, is, I want to say, arguably even better. It's just that they got hit a little harder over there than over here in the TCG. I don't know, maybe I have the wrong mentality, but I do believe that Sleepy Memory is better than Delicious Memory, because with 3 Sleepies, the TCG is kind of like screwed, because now the Purely Noir is way too easy to summon, which means you always have access to the trap card, which means you always have access to Purely Noir, but it also means that you can easily get an Purely, well, in 4 draws on your opponent's standby phase, because you can get double Sleepy Memory, and then, again, you're gonna summon Noir and then draw 2 extra cards. Which snowballs a little too much, and this deck also does play a bunch of hand traps, so yeah, I am not looking forward at all to facing this with 3 Sleepy Memories. This card really has to get limited. Anyways, the extra deck has nothing special outside of SP Little Knight, which replaced Azalea. It's the better card, and it's really easy to summon in this deck as long as you're using at least an Xyz, Fusion, Synchro Ritual, or Link Monster. On the summon of it, you're going to be able to banish a card on either player's field or graveyard. So obviously you can play around, you know, Lord of the Heavenly Prison and stuff, and you can banish whatever face down cards. It's also good to summon off of Masquerade, like I said. And there must have been something else. Oh yeah, if you're playing the Thunder Dragon deck, this card is disgusting. It's actually a starter. And if you're getting Nibiru, you can go like Chain and then banish your own monsters until the end phase. They come back. Ridiculous. This card is like a custom card, honestly. Like 20 out of 10. I already made like a video on it, but I'm gonna keep making even more content on this card. It's way too good. But yeah, again, even more freaking annoying cards in the side. Jesus, bro. Like, this deck is already playing enough hand traps. Like, are you really playing like 9 extra hand traps or something in the side? 2 Nibiru, 3 Retelling Sea, a Ghost Bell, 2 DD Crow, which I don't know. Not a big fan. I think Ghost Bell is a little better. You might as well play Bestials at this point. And then Veiler, 1 Veiler with no cross out or something. Ah, yeah, there's already 2 in the side and the main. 1 Talents, which is very interesting. Might as well play Task. Nah, you don't really need it. I agree. 1 D-Fisher, even though it's an unsearchable one of. Very interesting again. 3 Summon Limit, also really good if you're getting Kaiju'd or Xyz Uncored or something. Your opponent summoned a monster, so it's like they do count towards Summon Limit. So this card is kind of unfair, and you don't even need to summon that many times in Purely. You have your normal summon, and then you summon an Xyz monster, and that's, you know, you can sit on that. So your follow-up is not even that affected by Summon Limit. It's one of the better cards to play. Worst case scenario, you just discard it for your Purely, so this card's honestly never bad. And let's not talk about Red Reboot. They always draw that card, by the way. It's the most skillful one of. Anyways, Tier Elements. This deck is just a pile deck. Like, what is this, man? 2 Diabellstar, the Brave Token engine, only 2 of the engaged spells, and then 1 card that summons a level 1 fire monster from the deck, which is Jet Synchron, which is really good. And there's also like this pineapple banana card. What the hell is this? I don't understand anything. I'm extremely confused. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I really do not understand a thing. Also, it's a 42 card deck that sides lawn mowing, like thinking. This is not the Tier Elements deck that I remember from back in the days, like, at all. Especially, I'm pretty sure nobody even messed around with the Brave Token engine in Tier Elements because it conflicted way too much with like normal summoning Merly and Reinoheart. But now you're normal summoning these monsters way less because they're at 1, obviously, and the deck changed so much that it's almost a synchro deck at this point. Fusion summoning obviously happens, but it's not even the main priority. Like I said, this deck is basically a pile deck, and Naturia Beast is a joke to summon. You've got 2 level 1 Earth Tuner monsters. You've got Glow Bulb and Revolution Synchron. Ironically, even though it's a level 3, it becomes level 1 when used as a graveyard effect. Chaos Ruler, of course, with Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, we have Hot Red, but it's not worth playing when you don't have Chaos Ruler, because this card revives itself back, it mills you 5 cards, it's really stupid, and this whole deck, honestly, I want to say is stupid. Really well prepared to beat Purely as well, with the Underworld Goddess, and then SP Little Knight with Masquerina, the cute little combo that I explained. And the side deck, we've got 2 unsearchable Kaijus, unless I'm missing something, so yeah, just pray to God that you draw them, otherwise you're going to be losing a lot of games against Purely, because this deck does not really play a lot of hand traps, actually, so yeah, I don't know, it's looking... It just looks like it's not good enough going second. Maybe I'm maybe I'm just stupid and I don't understand what Tier Elements does now in the OCG, because in the TCG, this deck is, again, completely different. Like, not even remotely close to being close. But yeah, Heartbeats as well in the side. Really insane card. By the way, you can play this with like a Visa Starfrost package and shuffle back 2 cards your opponent controls if you control Visa Starfrost. It's pretty much like a Twin Twister. And the rest of the side deck is kind of irrelevant for me. Labyrinth now. Okay, so exactly as I said, it's not playing a lot of Unchained monsters, or cards rather. Only the 1 level 6 monster gets to the forgot, I think it's like Escape or something, and it's a decent card. Because of the fact that your one and only Unchained monster is an Unchained Soul, you can always go for the Link 2 monster, and then climb your way up from there. So on your opponent's turn, you go Link off using your opponent's monster into the Link 3, and then on your own turn, you Link up into Abomination, and it allows trap decks like Labyrinth to have a lot of, you know, gas and stuff going, because otherwise it kind of sometimes feels a little too slow, and the deck kind of looks a little fragile, but the Unchained monsters are pretty much like Yang Zing monsters. So if you want to play like a bigger engine, you can do that as well. But this deck is not even a trap deck, as you can clearly see. Like it's barely playing any trap cards. How many monsters is that? Like, who the hell would have ever thought that a deck that used to play like what, like 6 monsters or something crazy is now playing like 25? Bro. So yeah, 1 lovely, 3 lady, 2 Arias, which is the new monster, which I think is unfair. But for some reason, the OCG doesn't agree. They're only playing 2. I don't know about that. Also, only 2 Kuklog, which I think is understandable. If you're only playing 2 Arias, like, you should never play more Kuklog than Arias. So yeah, if anything, maybe Arias to 3. And by the way, again, this card is also playable in other decks. And then 3 Ariana, 1 Ariane, which I hate this card. I don't understand why people are playing it in Labyrinth, bro. But yeah, if you get to trigger your big welcomes on your opponent's turn and you have this and Ariana, then you get to draw like 2 cards, one with both of them, because they all have the same secondary effect. And yeah, maxing out on the other furnitures again, except for Kuklok, and then 6 hand traps, so sorry, 9 hand traps. Transaction rollback, really insane card. And then Dimensional Barrier in, that's like the only, yeah, D-Barrier and Escape, it's not really an Icarus attack, but kind of, like you destroy one of your monsters and one of your opponent's cards, only at 1, and then a red Reboot in the main deck, like in a trap deck, that's thinking. Even the side deck has like only 1 trap card. I think that's Archfiend Glitch. It's a pretty cool card. If you control a Fiend monster, you get to destroy a card your opponent controls, and then you foolish your deck for a Fiend monster. Very similar to Fiend Griefing, but it does require setup. And then the Field Spell in the side deck, I wouldn't main deck this card moving forward. Some Ishizu cards, again, what? Nibiru, Kurikara, Drool in a trap deck, bro, what is this? This is like a straight up abomination. And then the new Zeus monster, of course, it's really good in trap decks because you're not really summoning after that. You're pretty much just going into that and then attack and then pass. And with your trap cards, you're controlling the tempo of the game. Chaos Angel, which you can unironically summon. There's 2 ways for doing that. So either Arias with Ariana or Ariane, or Lovely or Lady, as well as Stovey. Yeah, so that's Stovey, I think. And yeah, a bunch of Link monsters, because this deck is playing Prosperity anyways. You might as well play Extravagance at this point, right? I don't know, maybe. But yeah, in conclusion, SP Little Knight is, of course, really good, and then Rescue Ace, Pure Elements, Purely and Pure Elements. Yeah, that should be a new deck that we should start playing. But yeah, they're obviously still the best decks. I don't think it changed that much since the last one. I mean, yeah, the order changed, like Pure Elements, Labyrinth, Rescue Ace. And then Purely was a little worse, Despia was a little better, but it's not super set in stones. It's always gonna fluctuate a little bit every single month or something. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out on the Sinful Spoils archetype because it's really good and has a lot of potential for the future. And Vanquish Soul is, of course, getting better thanks to Jialong. Again, it's the card that allows you to reveal 2 fire monsters to search any Vanquish Soul card from your deck to your hand. So it's more consistency, and it technically allows you to play, to not play Pluton, but for some reason, the deck list that is shown here, it's on Twitter, by the way, is actually playing Pluton, which I don't really understand. Like, yeah, I wouldn't play this, but I mean, it's a good deck list, but I wouldn't play Pluton. But yeah, you can easily find the deck list for Vanquish Soul as well as the Magician deck just by going on Road of the King, and then it's OCG Metagame Breakdown Report number 4. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.